Hey guys, welcome back to Hygienic Truths. I'm Trevor. Hope you've been here before, but if you haven't, welcome. This one's Everything is Addiction Part B. So let's get into it. Life is about growth on a physical and spiritual level. Choices determine the path of life you follow. When you were young, you had energy in abundance, which enabled you a drive for exploration. This is us branching out from our home base. At this point in time, we start defining who we are through the habits we form. And where do these habits come from? Understanding the reason we form habits can have great insight into changing these practices, hopefully for the better. We could talk about the formative years of life, but these vary so much in each person. We could spend all day. Let's just say what creates pleasure or takes away pain is what we seek on repeat. We will start in the first years of education where we are encouraged to compete with one another. This is our first awakening to the highs and lows of winning or losing. How did this make you feel at the time? I'm sure you were on a high when you won, but for all of those who lost, we would feel lousy. You can see the ratio of positive to negative feelings is not looking good at the moment. We are teaching our kids to compete with one another and win to gain highs. Once our children establish this feeling and how they can gain it, they look for it in everything they can do. How something makes you feel ends up becoming your driving force. Being focused on how we feel at the time and seeking those highs is to our detriment as we start forming habits in everything we do. If we play sport, we want to win. At school, being the best in class gives you a high. If you can't gain your high there, you look for other avenues. Some people find food to uplift them, so their taste buds become their driving force. If you're not gaining highs from recognizable actions, you may fall into depression, and now you seek other uplifting practices. People become addicted to anything and everything, and these become loops of your life. Doctors prescribe drugs of dependence to lift you from your low. You may use exercise to relieve endorphins to gain a high. The point is you're always looking for that high. This psychology is not a good place to be, as all highs always come with corresponding lows. You just need to recognize them. I hope you're starting to see the picture as to why you form habits. Whatever makes you feel good, we tend to do on repeat. Your thought process is what drives your ideology behind what gives you this endorphin release. It's all perspective. Once we get older, it becomes about ego and what we have in comparison to everyone else. You can see all things that you believe give you highs that are habit forming. It feels like we have been led down the wrong garden path. Now, on the other hand, if you're not a winner, you will seek other avenues for that high that may be bad for your physical health, like food or drugs. And what makes you feel good becomes the loop. This drive to feel high from whatever source you receive it is putting great pressure and stress on your physical and spiritual health. It's continually being pulled from highs to lows and then resetting the high again. I can tell you this is not how you run a railroad. Why do you seek this constant stimulation? Maybe because we are always feeling bad and we can't even recognize it because we don't know any better. If you had ill feeling before you can remember, there is no way you would ever know it existed because we learn to turn the pain off if you've had it for long enough. This discomfort you can't recognize comes from a diet that does not furnish us with life, only death. Humans are alpha predators. We like to eat our prey alive so as to gain its life. Tiger eats its prey alive. This is what furnishes it with its greatest power. Humans should eat our prey alive, and our prey is fruit. Everything we do makes us feel good, tends to be done on repeat. We need to change this way of thinking. Let me help you change this perspective. It is possible to feel good by losing and enjoying with the winner the feelings that come with it and also their success. We get this feeling when we see our kids succeed. Why can't we have these same feelings for other people's success? Life would be so more joyful. Our perspective drives our feelings. When you start to realize everybody's success is also yours and the idea of competition is toxic, this is the first step to breaking those loops of highs and lows and just enjoying the show. Every time you look for a different perspective, you break a loop. This will serve you well to get going on to breaking more habitual loops. Now we understand that changing perspective leads to breaking loops. Let's focus on our base level programming that needs to be followed to give us our joyous physical existence. Can you imagine taking away a distress you don't even know you had? The food we eat is our base level programming. And when we feed this computer the right fuel, miraculous things will happen. Our ability to reprogram things down the line comes so much easier. To understand what our diet should really look like, you need to understand life science and natural hygiene. I have all this information and I'm happy to pass it on for free, as the truth should never come with a cost. Thanks for joining me, people. My site has all the information on hygienic truths and natural hygiene and life science. So feel free to contact me and I will pass it all on to you for free. I really look forward to doing this and I hope everybody else can get on board and see the path. Have a great one, guys. We'll speak to you soon. Bye.